Hi everyone. You look at you're speaking because you're looking at the camera, but you're not moving your mouth. Are you a ventriloquist? Oh, well, she'd be the dummy, wouldn't she? I'd be the ventriloquist. How do I say it? Hi everyone. I was actually gonna film. There you go, you get to look at the husky. She'll be off in a minute, I'll guarantee. She's just come to be stroked. I am actually stroking her. That's my knee, by the way. Yeah, I don't really know what to say, but if you are new here, I'm Melanie. I do a variety of videos. You won't see me all during this video, so if you don't like that kind of video, then click off right now because you won't see me. You might see the husky. I can't promise it'll be for long because there you go, you're showing everyone that you can swallow your own head. Yeah. She will be off, the back door's open because she likes being outside. There you go, I told you. Oh, she's gone to get a toy. She's picked up 2 different ones so far. She's gone back to the first one. And she's taking it outside. Or she's going in conservatory. Conservatory, it's easier for me to retrieve. And by the way, I don't edit either, in case this is the first video of mine that you're stumbling across. So any noise or if I ramble, it's obviously not going to get edited. Although I'm pretty sure that I don't, even when I did edit, I didn't edit out the rambling. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, or maybe I took some out, but who knows. Anyway, I'm just sat here and I'm really down. I've been down for a long time. The police, there's 2 different police teams affecting me. They're a neighbourhood team who think it's acceptable to watch hundreds of hours of harassment and crimes. I'm not going to say what the crimes are, but there's been some quite serious crimes happen. And Chief Inspector Steph Arms has belittled me, bullied me, caused me distress. And she's been reported, and she's going to get more reports, like complaints to the IOPC about her. Even though she knows she's causing distress, she still carries it on. And we don't want her involved because we think she's being unprofessional, and she's still involving herself because she clearly thinks she's acceptable to bully a vulnerable adult and belittle me. Now, like I said in other places and to people, and I've been advised to, I will start making all the harassment public, i.e. the clips of the harassment and the crime will be sent to media if the police carry on protecting people who are harming me, who have trapped me in the house for 9 months, but also ultimately affected my life for 3 years, or well over 3 years actually. And then there's another team that's meant to be involved, but you know, they don't like me, so they're bullying me. DS Heather Martin has made me quite suicidal over the last 10 weeks. Fully aware of it, fully aware of her impact on me, yet she's still treating me like something she's stood in. And she's fully aware of how she's making me feel, but she's carrying on. And everything I'm saying I believe to be true, and I can back it up. And she's just, I reported something that normally gets same or next day like response. 10 weeks later, nothing. And I know DS Heather Martin's involved due to she is being named twice by call takers when they've looked at the log. And I've dealt with Heather Martin in the past, and she wasn't great with me. And last time I actually spoke to her, which was nothing to do with this, what I'm saying now, because obviously she's not contacted me, she had me in tears and was pushing me for an answer and wouldn't answer questions that I got told she would answer. And I'm not being bullied by the police because Melissa Chadwick, bullied me for months, even though her inspector kept telling her not to contact me. And this was me as a victim, by the way. I don't have a criminal record or anything like that. I was the victim, and she was targeting me and making my life hell. And if you followed me back then, you'll know like what was going on to some extent. Anyway, I'm not being bullied after the damage she caused, so Heather Martin's not bullying me, and I will make everything that she's done public, along with naming the entire team if I have to. So they have been massively impacting my mental health, along with what I'm faced with daily on the street. So I am extremely down. It's really affecting me. And the police know what's happening to me on the street is affecting me, to the point that because of certain people I've tried to take my life on various occasions, and the police have also made me want to take my life as well. And even though they've got concrete evidence of actual crimes, they're allowing them to continue to harm me, which means they're singling out a vulnerable adult because I'm an easy target to the police. And Maggie Oliver's team know all about this, and Maggie Oliver's team deal with these kind of situations where the police think it's acceptable to bully and single out a vulnerable adult and allow constant crime to happen to them, and in fact terrorise and bully the victim themselves, because that's what they're doing to me. Fully aware of how they're making me feel, fully aware of what's happened to me is making me feel, yet even as their job is to protect and help people, especially vulnerable people they're meant to help more so, they're actually making me feel worse and allowing constant crime to happen to me. So obviously I've been advised that if it continues, that to expose it and give the media the thousands of clips of harassment and the crime, because the media, unlike me, I can post a certain amount, but the media can post everything and they can like talk about who's done what, whereas I can't name names. But there you go. So that's what the police are doing, and that's why I'm severely down all the time. I'm struggling with life, I'm struggling with everything. I can't come and go as a police because of people on my street and the way I'm made to feel. And like the jobs that these people do, you'd be absolutely horrified that they treat someone like this. So, and it's like some of these people had never even seen me, let alone spoken to me, yet they felt it acceptable to stand outside my house for many months, making my life a misery, trapping me in the house, making me scared to do anything, making me scared to walk around my own house. So that's why I'm really down. And I've been like targeted for over 3 years. The police have had time to deal with it. The police have got evidence enough to charge people, enough to arrest people, like, yet, you know, we can do what we want because the police let us. That's the attitude. And enough's enough, so if I have to go public, I will go public. I don't care if my name's in the papers because I can prove I've done absolutely nothing. And I never get any phone calls getting accused of anything, because even though I've been told that people are saying, well, people are saying that I've done things, there's never actually any evidence or actually any crimes because I'm trapped in the house. So how can I do something when I'm being trapped in the house by a select amount of people? You know, there you go. And you can't see in my house, so if I'm doing stuff in my house, it's not actually a crime because I'm in my house and I'm actually doing nothing. So I don't ever get accused of anything by the police. So it says a lot, doesn't it? Whereas I've got over 100 crime numbers and I've probably got about 800 log numbers. So there you go. And also, like, the police, Steph Arms belittles me. Like, she'll watch something and go, that's not a crime. Yet numerous people who work in criminal law are like, that's a crime, that's a crime, that's a crime. That with that and that constitutes a crime. So she belittles me. She don't want to deal with me. She don't like me. She decided she didn't like me. She's lied to me. Oh, I'll meet you. I didn't even ask to meet her. And when I've since asked to meet her, no. Not a very nice person. And yet she won't step back from being involved, even though we've both put complaints in about her. And she's actually, even Crime Commissioner contacted her. Now the Crime Commissioner has to tell us what she said word for word. Don't know if she realised that. She manipulated what she said to make it sound like something else. And it weren't just me that was unhappy with what she was suggesting. That was actually very false. Yet she's still involving herself. Highly unprofessional, bullying behaviour. She's caused me so much distress. I've considered taking my own life because of what she's done. But she doesn't care. I think the main aim of the police right now is I think they want me to take my own life. And if I do, the two main people who affect me now is DS Heather Martin and Chief Inspector Steph Arms. So if I do end my own life, it'll be those two coupled with two other people who are causing a lot of things that are happening to me. So there you go. The police would be responsible fully and would be to blame fully if I take my own life, which they're making me feel like doing on a daily basis. So that's why I'm severely down. So I'm just sat here, don't even know what to do with myself. Weekends are the hardest. I dread the weekends. I literally always hope that it's going to rain all weekend because of what is bestowed upon me, harassment wise. Constantly targeted. Like, and I don't even do anything. They don't see me, yet they don't leave me alone. And that's what it's like. Imagine having to like be in your house all weekend, and even though no one sees you, they still do things to cause distress. What does that say about them? The dog's in the back garden literally just looking at me. She loves it when she can be in and out all the time. Me, it pees me off at times because she'll push the door open to go outside, then it gets cold, like it's open now but I'm not actually cold, but I will get cold eventually, and then I'll have to go and I'll shut it, and then I'll go off, or I'll come and sit back down here or whatever. She'll come to the door, I want to come in, let her in, and I'll pull the door to so if she wants to go out she can push it open, and I'll either come and sit down or go and do something and she's straight back out there, and then it'll be like, oh, it's getting cold again, I'll have to get up or walk to the door or whatever, go and pull it shut. Oh, I want to come in now. So I'm up and down like that all day. And there's times where she's not done it recently because she's only just like started to be in and out a lot because the weather's getting better, hopefully. But there was a time, especially last year, and this used to really pee me off, especially because I've got a bad hip. So she'd go to the door, I'd open it, come and sit down, and as I'd just sat down, she'd be back at the door wanting to come in, literally. So I'd get up, even though it's painful when my hip's really bad, go to the door, let her in, pull it to like it's almost shut, and then I'd walk across the room, and either just as I sat down or just before I was sitting down, she'd push it back open again. So I'd have to go across the room, pull it shut, come and sit down, and as I sat down, she'd want to come back in again. So then I started to not sit down and make it look like I was about to sit down. So then I went to get back up, which is the most painful part with my hip, although walking does hurt. And then, yeah, she'd do that up to 20 times in a row, and then I'd be like, you're either in or out. I'm not going to keep up and down to you. Like, if you go out now, you're going to be out for at least 10, 15 minutes because I'm not getting up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, when it's warm outside and it's not chilly, it's fine. That door can be open for it. I don't care. But, yeah, she does. I think she thinks it's bloody funny. I don't. And she's literally just looking at me from the back end of the garden. She went up there the other day, was it Friday? And she literally curled up in a ball and went to sleep. She just loves being out there. It's her favourite thing to do. Although she's been very mischievous recently with being allowed to... Well, she's allowed out, but when it's raining and stuff or really cold, she's not bothered with going in and out. But she keeps taking stuff outside. She does it anyway, but it's obviously because it's been winter and raining and stuff, she's not done it for months. She's now started to do it again, the little shits from hell. That's putting it mildly. The other day I was upstairs, she ran downstairs, grabbed something off the stairs, took it outside. So then I'm having to go downstairs to go outside to make sure it's not something that we want. And it was literally some recycling to go in the bin. It was a bit of cardboard. But I didn't know that because you've got to check, because if you don't check, I'll guarantee she's took something outside that she's not allowed and she's going to destroy it. She keeps taking packets outside. She keeps taking all sorts of stuff outside. And it's stuff that inside the house she's allowed. Like, she's allowed to take lids off bottles. That keeps her distracted. It stops her from taking things and chewing up, because it's a husky thing, like stealing stuff and chewing it up. But then she keeps taking the bottles outside, so then I've got to go and get the bottles and put them in the bin. And when the garden's wet and it takes weeks to fully dry out, if it's rained, I can't walk on it. In the summer it's better because after 3 days I can walk on it, but it's still quite wet at the top end, but it's still walkable. And even in hot weather it takes a good 7-8 days to dry out, as long as it doesn't rain again. But in winter it's just always wet, and the further back you go in the garden, it's just, you just not, like, you just can't walk on it. But she can, A, because she's a lot lighter, and B, because she doesn't care if her feet get wet or her paws get wet. So there's lots of stuff to pick up because she just keeps taking it outside, where normally she'd chew it up inside. And she keeps stealing wrappers out my dad's bin because he has a little bin in his living room. She keeps taking wrappers out, and I don't mean M&M and like Dr. Dre or anything. I just mean like little packets of food, like empty ones, and they're scattered all over his living room floor. Does he pick them up? Does he ever like? No, it's me. Won't pick up anything for himself. He just leaves it on the floor, and then sometimes she'll run down with it. The other day, what did I do? I went to do something. I went outside to put something in the bin by the front door, and I can only do that on certain days when there's no one around, because I'm too scared to go out there normally, even though the main bin that I would use is been moved next to the front door. And I literally stepped outside, shut the door, and as I was walking in, I could hear her in my dad's living room, and I could hear her with a packet. So I'm like, oh God, I've got to go upstairs to make sure, because he does leave packets of food on his sofa, because she has stolen full packets of food. So I had to go upstairs, and as I get to the top of the stairs, she's got a paper packet that had, you can get fresh cookies from the bakery, like in supermarkets. She had a packet of that in her mouth, and I'm thinking, is there a cookie in there? Because I knew they were Cadbury's chocolate chunk or chip or whatever they want to call them. And I'm thinking, is there one still in there? Because I need them back because they've got chocolate in. And as I go to grab it, the little shit bag who's now come to the door and is staring at me, and the door's open so she can come in, she ran past me. She won't let me get hold of it. So then I'm having to run outside to make sure that it's a bloody empty packet, which it was. Now I should know, especially with my dad, he does have a very, 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 very sweet tooth. I should have known that it was empty. But I've always got to double check, because obviously I don't want her to eat chocolate. But she has stolen, he has those mini cheddars. He's not had them for a few weeks actually. Then that's because he keeps eating all the sweet stuff. He's got loads of savoury snacks. If you watch my shopping hauls, like this week especially, I mean, I think this is going to go up a couple of weeks from now, or it might go up sooner, but you'll definitely see this week's food haul before that. If you watch my food hauls, you'll see I didn't get him any savoury snacks at all, because he's got 2 big packets of crisps, he's got some cheese twists, and he's got at least 2 or 3 other savoury things. So I got him a packet of chocolate biscuits, the chocolate ring things by Fox's, and he's got 2 half boxes of Mr. Kipling. He's not touched them yet actually, or has he? Who knows? So yeah, I've not bought him any savoury snacks, but she has. Well, there's currently a packet of Aldi mini cheese bakes in the back garden, and every time I go to pick them up, she snatches them off me and runs around the garden with them. So I just leave them there for her. She will have. I don't even know why she's not opened the packet, to be honest, because it's actually got them in there, and she could easily chew that packet open, and I don't know why she hasn't. And she's allowed them. I mean, maybe not a full packet, but if he eats them, he will give her 1 or 2 out of the packet. But yeah, they're outside, and I don't know if I've said in a video, but I don't know if it wasn't the week that has just finished, it was the week before. I was getting ready, and then normally if she wants to be outside, she can be outside and she's got access to come inside. So if she's in here when I go upstairs and it's not raining and the back door's open, this door that leads to the conservatory, I will just push to, so if she wants to go out she can push it open. And sometimes she does. I'd say more so now, she definitely will every single time, but the rest of the time, if she's already been outside, it's like 50-50 if she's going to go outside. Sometimes she just pushes the door open and comes and lies back down, so then the house gets cold. But this particular day, I went upstairs to get ready for the dog walk, and like, it's when I go and get like properly ready for the day. And I come down, and I noticed, and they don't fit me anymore, but it's not the point. My walking boots are in the conservatory. I had to force my feet in them the other week to go in the garden to get something, and it was soaking wet through, and I thought I'll just shove them on because I don't want to get anything else muddy, and I'm not keeping them. I don't know if I should like clean them and donate them. I probably will donate them to charity, because why would I bin them? I barely wore them because literally my feet grew. I bought them and literally barely got to wear them. So I might as well just clean them and donate them, because someone else could get use out of them. Anyway, she took them both outside. And a roll of black bin liners. Now those black bin liners have been in the conservatory behind something for a long time, because sometimes I use them with rubbish in the back garden or whatever. And they've been in there since last summer, I'm guessing, maybe this time of year onwards. And all of a sudden she decides, no, today, even though they're out of reach or out of my sight, and it shows she must have had a good nose in the conservatory, she took them out. Luckily she didn't unravel them or chew them up, but I think if she'd had longer, I think she would have done. And she took the walking boots outside. One was just outside the back door, other one, top end of the garden, where it's still quite wet, so I had to go and get it. And she hadn't chewed them up. Now I quickly realised when I got her, well, I've had her since I was a puppy, but she pretty much started doing this shit straight away. If there's any shoes in this room, she will take them outside and chew them up and destroy them. And I learnt the hard way after about 6 pairs of shoes. Shoes that I would actually wear. I mean, I can't now because my feet have grown, but at the time they fit me, and she wrecked them. She wrecked a really expensive pair of, like, high heels, like court shoe ones, like suede. Really nice ones, barely ever wore them. She destroyed them. She literally pulled the insoles out of them and chewed one up. Badly chewed one up. I don't know if I ever showed them. I probably potentially did show them in a video. But yeah, that's what she did. She chewed up a pair of, like, these black, shiny, chunky... They were meant to be, like, waterproof, welly type boots, but they were more fashion, but they were so heavy I couldn't really wear them. But I used to put them on to, like, go up the garden to get stuff when it was super muddy. She stole them and chewed them up. She chewed other things up, like footwear. And there was a day where I'd got these Adidas. I wonder if they still fit me, because they were too big when I bought them and my feet have grown. I need to try them on, they are upstairs. They're like a canvas Adidas trainer court shoe with a thick sole. I had them on, took them off, maybe I changed shoes, I don't know. And I'd gone upstairs. I don't know if I must have had them on that day, because it had the socks in them, and I think I took them off to put something weather appropriate on my feet, where I didn't need socks. And I'd gone upstairs or something, and then I thought, oh, I'll go and look out the windows to see what she's doing in the back garden. And I couldn't see, and I'm like, oh, she's in the house, like, what's she up to? And I knew, because as a pup, she's still a young dog, but as a puppy she was a little shit. I mean, she still is, all huskies are. And I came downstairs, and I'm thinking, something looks like it's missing. And she wasn't outside a minute ago, but she is now. And I'm thinking, what's missing? Then I realised my new Adidas court shoe things were missing. So I ran outside in an absolute panic. And luckily for me, she has a thing about socks. She used to steal socks. She's not done it for a long time, but if there was any socks anywhere on the floor or anywhere she could reach, she would steal them and sometimes chew them up. So luckily for me, because I'd put my socks in them when I took them off, she was too busy trying to chew a sock up. Now, if those socks wouldn't have been in there, she would have chewed the shoes up. And in fact, she must have took those shoes out there one by one, because she had the pair of them out there. So I'd literally found them at the right time. And ever since then, I'd not left a pair of shoes downstairs until recently. Those walking boots were in here because I cleared out my car and they were in my boot in my car. But obviously I couldn't wear them because my feet have grown. And I'd brought them in here. And they were in a bag, and then I was sorting out the bag because I was like, there's probably stuff in here I can throw out. I still need to put the stuff that I've saved back in the car, but the car needs vacuuming out. And so until I've vaxed it out, I'm not going to put stuff in it because, you know, it'll be in the way. And knowing me, I'll just wrap around it because it's a quicker and easier job. So, like I said, I had to put them on to go up the garden that day, and it was soaking wet through outside. And I just left them in the conservatory, but they'd been in the conservatory for about a month at least, not touched them once. And she'd been in and out for a couple of weeks before she stole them. So makes you wonder, doesn't it, why all of a sudden after walking past them hundreds of times, she decided to steal them. And then also, there was a pair of boots that I took out the car, no longer fit me. I'm going to donate them to charity. I barely even got to wear them either. By the way, my feet have not grown any further since that time. I'm just worried that I have obviously replaced a lot of footwear. There's still more things that I need, but you know, I'm not going to buy everything at once. And basically, because my life revolves around the dog, I'm mainly buying like my favourite type of footwear for comfort, like trainers and Converse, because I've worn Converse forever, and the odd pair of flat boots. But I do need some nicer boots and stuff, but I'll get to everything. But I'm building up, it's not even a collection, but anyway. But yeah, those boots were in here next to the bag that was in the car, because obviously we weren't putting them back in the car. They were going to go into the charity bags. I mean, I've got 2 bags of clothes for charity. I've got a box of stuff, and I know I've got other stuff that I can donate. And she took them outside, and when I saw them, because they weren't cheap, they are leather boots, I was like, if she's chewed them up, I'm not going to be happy. I mean, I don't think I'd be happy even if they were cheap boots that we're going to throw out, because you shouldn't be chewing footwear up. And that's why we make it clear to her, yes, she's allowed to chew bottles off bottles. If she wants to crunch bottles up, she can. She wants to rip packets open that are empty, yes, she can. So we do allow her to have certain things, and we will give her certain things, and we try to make her think, well, if you're not given things, you can't chew it up. But obviously she's a husky, and it's in their nature just to be chew artists. I don't know what to call them. I mean, she's just got in a bed and curled up and the back door's open. And it is getting chilly now. She makes me laugh, that dog. Yeah, I've been outside, I've had a play. Yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of sleep in my comfy bed now. So yeah, she didn't destroy them, and I've moved them out of her eyesight. And also, she stole a bobble hat that I took out my car that I really like. I didn't love the pattern. I bought it from, do you know, Accessorize. They did like these £10 and £20 boxes, and you'd get a variety of things. And it was like this oversized bobble hat with a big bubble on it. It was one of those loose bobble hats. And I actually forgot to wear it. Like when I got it, I wore it a couple of times. I just didn't love the pattern, but it was a nice warm hat. And it was in here. I took it out of my car, and she stole it and ripped apart the bobble part. So obviously, I can't wear that hat again. Went in the bin. So you've got to have eyes in the back of your head. But obviously, if I go upstairs for half an hour or whatever, you know, I don't want to destroy things. I just now need to make sure that everything's out of her bloody reach, and that I don't leave things on the bloody floor, out of the way, nowhere near the bloody door, because she's just stealing stuff. And I'll see her looking round, and I'm thinking, she's looking for something to literally take outside to chew up. She's got loads of tough, like those tougher dog toys to chew at. There's bottles she can chew. But oh no, I wonder what I can chew that she really wants. Oh, I bet she really wants that. Oh, let's take that. And also, if you don't catch them doing it, you can't tell them off. Because if you find something that they chewed up 10 minutes earlier, and you tell your dog off and tell them like they've done something wrong, they'll think the last thing that they did was wrong. So if the last thing they did was wag at you, they'll think wagging at you is wrong. So you can't tell them off unless you actually catch them in the act. And I tell you what, if you catch her in the act, she either looks at you and gives you this look like, yeah, look what I've done, I don't care, yes, I've done it. Or she'll do another look, wasn't me, definitely wasn't me, even though it's right in front of me and I've got bits of it in my mouth. No, wasn't me, look at me, look how cute I am. Those are the 2 looks you get. Or she'll run off and run around the garden like an absolute idiot. And a lot of the time she'll try and run off with what she's actually got that she shouldn't have. Then you're chasing around the garden like an absolute fool, and it's hard to catch her. Trust me, it is hard to catch her. And she thinks it's a buddy game. I mean, there's things that I won't chase her around with. I mean, she stole a screwdriver that my dad left out, and she was trying to chew the handle off it. I mean, she chewed off handles off a pair of scissors when she was a younger dog. I think she was like 1 or something. She chewed the handles off scissors. How the hell did she do that? And it was a sturdy pair of scissors. I had to go and buy a new pair of scissors because of her. So, yeah, she was trying to chew the handle off. And there's actually a picture, or there's several pictures of her with a screwdriver in her mouth, And it literally looks like she's been smoking. And I did try and chase her, and I thought, no, I'm not chasing her because she's literally got a screwdriver in her mouth. If she falls, she could really hurt herself. So I couldn't actually chase her around the garden because of how she was holding it. She weren't holding it like across her mouth. She was holding it so it was pointing downwards, and she had the handle in her mouth. So because of the position it was in, I couldn't chase her, because if she fell and it went backwards, it wouldn't have been good. If she would have had it sideways, I would have probably gone to get it off her. But yeah, I couldn't chase her around while she was holding it like she was smoking. The fun and games we have owning a husky. And by the way, like, huskies take over your life. I've said this before. I heavily researched huskies, and it's still a lot more than you could ever anticipate. And I'm in the position to be able to have a husky and give her the attention that they need and crave. And there's a saying that don't think of a husky as a pet, but as a companion, because it will change your life forever. You have to change your life to adapt around the husky, and the husky has to go everywhere with you. And if they can't go everywhere with you, they need to be with someone, because you can't leave huskies for longer than 3 hours, and they recommend you don't do that often. So if you do get a husky, it's a massive commitment. And husky owners say, like, they've changed their lives to actually have to accommodate the husky, and they can't do things that they used to do, and they've had to change their lifestyle and where they go and what they do because of the husky. So if you're not willing to change your lifestyle, and if you go to work 8 hours a day and you travel an hour there, an hour back, and you've got like commitments in the evenings, it'd be very unfair to get a husky, because A, you can't leave them, B, it'd be unfair to have them in constant daycare from like 7 in the morning till 7 at night. Yeah, it's sociable for them, but they need human interaction. They're very needy. Like, literally, we'll go out together, we'll be gone 2-3 hours, we'll come home, she'll have something to drink, she might have a run around for 2-3 minutes, then she'll come and sit with me and she'll want attention, she'll want to be stroked. And I'll be like, you've literally been with me for 3 hours, like, why do you need stroking? And then she'll want to be stroked from anywhere from 5 minutes to bloody 30 minutes. So, you know, they're very needy. They have separation anxiety. They're very mischievous. They ignore every command. She's not too bad in the house, although she can be. If we're outside, I could say her name 50 times in a row. I mean, there was one day I just said it constantly for 10 minutes to see if any of the time she would actually look at me. Nope. Constantly saying it. She's like, oh, da-da-da-da. Oh, she's saying my name. Never mind. I'm going to ignore her. Oh, I'm going to sniff this. Oh, she's still saying my name. Oh, well, she's an idiot for saying my name, because I'm not going to answer to it. And that's what they're like. Now, she will sometimes listen to me. She won't necessarily answer to her name. But there's certain times, if like she's dragging me and we're going downhill, or she's trying to get me to go down something steep to get to something, she will slow down, or she will stop until I catch her up, and then she'll be off again. Or if I needed to stop so I can, if she like runs around in a circle around me, or dives around, or does stupid things, sometimes part of her harness twists under a little bit on top, and it's not even uncomfortable for her, but I always like to put it back. And if I say stop a minute, she will stop and let me adjust it, but the second she thinks I've finished adjusting it, she's off again. But yeah, I could say her name 100 times and she'd be like, no, not answering, I'm carrying on. You can say my name all day if you want, I'm not going to answer, I'm outside. Now, if she's in an enclosed space and I say her name, more chance of her replying or responding to me. Although sometimes in the house I can say her name 50 times and she's like, nope, go away, nope, I'm busy, I'm ignoring you, whatever. Although the other night she was upstairs and I went to go out. I mean, I didn't want to go out, I went to let her out. I was going to go to bed. And I said her name quietly. She actually came to me. I thought, oh, she's not going to come to me. I'm going to have to say it about 20 times. No, she actually came to me. I was actually shocked. Well, on that note, I am going to go. Oh, God, it's 34 minutes. I didn't realise I probably talked about the dog for 30 minutes. She's over there sleeping. I'm going to drink a bottle of water. I'm really tired. I never get enough sleep because I can't sleep because of how I feel. I'm going to have a drink of water. Even though, I mean, it's lunchtime. I'm hungry. And I shouldn't be hungry because I had a late breakfast. Because I didn't feel like having breakfast when I got up. I had a late breakfast, but I feel hungry. I might feel better after a bottle of water. I might just be dehydrated. Because sometimes I mistake being extremely thirsty for being hungry. And sometimes I'll eat and then I'll still feel hungry and I'm like, I'll have a bit more. And I'm like, why? And then I'll think, oh, I might be thirsty, because I do forget to drink at times. And then sometimes I remember and drink too much. I mean water, by the way. I don't need to go to the shop for alcohol every day. And there's days where I'm just so stressed and anxious, I'll just forget to drink, and then I'll think I'm hungry, but I'm not. It's just because I'm extremely thirsty. And I think I am thirsty because I keep thinking of drinking things that I don't want to drink. Like, I've got an orange Lucozade in the fridge and I try and save it in case I feel unwell. In fact, I might actually drink that and then I won't have it though. It does help me a lot. If I feel unwell, it can help me feel much, much better. It depends on what is wrong with me. Sometimes it doesn't do much, but sometimes it really helps massively. And there's times where I'll have one every day and it doesn't necessarily make me feel brilliant, but it does help in some ways. So I know someone who said to me years ago that when they were I don't know how old they were, Lucozade used to come in a big bottle, and they said that it used to come wrapped in this plastic wrap thing, this paper that was twisted round it or something. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I don't even remember that. But apparently it used to come in a bottle wrapped in did they say orange clear plastic wrap thing? I don't know. Does anyone remember that? Am I tripping and can't remember something that I should remember? But they said that you could only get one flavour, which I do believe is true. And it used to come in wrapped in this shiny, did they say orange? Because it was the original Lucozade, and apparently the original Lucozade that we have now doesn't taste like the Lucozade that they had then. I don't even know if that's true. No, I don't. I like orange Lucozade. It just tastes the best to me personally. I've not had original for a long time. I don't love it, but I would drink it. Do you know, if I desperately needed a drink, I would drink it. Because there's been times when my dad's picked me up a Lucozade and I've asked for orange, and he's picked up the original one thinking it's orange flavoured because the bottle's a ready orange, and I've drank it reluctantly, but I've drank it because I've wanted it, and I don't mind it. There was once, I don't know if they still do this, is it the Caribbean one, and it's in a really nice blue bottle, and I think it's might have a bit of orange at the bottom colour wise. I used to love that, but there was one night when I drank it and I ended up in hospital because it had actually triggered, because I was ill, but it triggered what was wrong with me and made me really unwell. And was it that night I had to ring an ambulance because I was struggling breathing? I didn't live here, by the way. It was the year I got this house. And I ended up in hospital because I ended up with such severe chest pains and I was struggling to breathe, and it had actually irritated what was wrong with me and made it accelerate the illness to the point where I had to ring 999. I kept fainting and I was struggling to breathe and I didn't know what the hell was going on, so I had to ring 999 because I literally thought I was dying. And honestly, I wouldn't ring 999 for the fun of it. And they came, and it was also I was struggling to speak to the guy on the phone. And my dad was actually at home in bed, but I couldn't even get to my dad. I couldn't shout him. I couldn't actually do anything because I was actually struggling to talk to the guy on the phone. I was struggling to tell him my address. I was struggling with everything. I don't even know how I actually managed to tell him my address because I was struggling to breathe. I was panicked, and like I said, I'd kept fainting. I didn't faint on the phone, but I fainted after I made the phone call because I was trying to, because they said if there's anyone in the house with you, and he was trying to get me to go to my dad, and I was on my hands and knees crawling trying to get to my dad to try and wake him up. And then the ambulance turned up, and they actually were the reason my dad actually got woken up, because they were banging on the front door. Because I was actually upstairs and he was in bed and I was in my bedroom, but I couldn't actually get to his bedroom before the paramedics turned up. And then I managed to get to the stairs and they had to help me down the stairs. So yeah, that accelerated what was wrong with me, and ended up in hospital. And I had gas in her, which I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, it makes you off your head, which I don't like that anyway, but it also makes me extremely nauseous, and I feel nauseous like all the next day after having it, so I'm not a fan of it, and it makes me extremely dizzy. Yeah, it helps with pain, and yeah, you talk a load of crap on it, let me tell you. I don't like it. I don't like that it has that effect, and I know some people absolutely love it, but I don't. But I was in so much pain, that's what they gave me. And then when I got to the hospital, I got IV pain relief immediately. So yeah, that's what happened. And I've not had that ever since then, because I used to love it. But it just reminds me of that day and how it accelerated an underlying illness that I'd been carrying for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I was getting worse anyway, but without that drink, I don't think I would have got that ill quickly. And then I did get out like 24 hours later, and I ended up back in there a couple of weeks later for 10 days with the same thing, but much worse, because, well, I'm not going to get into it, but I unknowingly did something that accelerated it so much that I was that ill. I ended up in hospital for that amount of time. So there you go. And that's why I don't drink that one. And I've not tried, do you know what, I tried the cherry one not too long ago, and I didn't mind that. I wouldn't say I'd go out my way to choose it over orange, but it was a nice change. The apple one's okay, I don't love it though. I can't remember the other flavours, but I don't think I've tried them all. Maybe I should just get a couple of flavours and try them. Thing is, when I go to Asda, I just go to the chilled section and I get the 3 for 2. And I always try and get a Dr Pepper Zero, a orange Lucozade, and then recently I've been getting a Sprite Zero, but there wasn't one the other day, so I got the new the blue Lucozade Sport. Absolutely love it. I'd only had it once and I've not seen it since, and I saw it and I'm like, I'm having that. And I'm trying to save that for my dog walks, because I have Lucozade before I go on a walk. Monday and Tuesday I normally have about 20 mouthfuls of it, because it does kick in during the dog walk and it does help me because I'm being dragged constantly. And on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I drink more, especially Friday. I am trying to save the blue one until at least Wednesday. I mean, I've got an orange one open. I think when that finishes, that's probably potentially when I'm going to open that blue one. But it is good, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, because I know it's super popular, I'm hoping they bring it out in the bigger size and also in the 4-packs, because it is really nice and it was a nice change. You can still taste the isotonic part of the drink. Alright? You looking at me? Have you a little snoozy woozy? Snoozy woozy. You had a little nap, haven't you? You're going to be up and about now, aren't you? What are you going to steal and take outside today? It's like I've not decided. She's looking all cute and sweet and innocent right now. Yeah, I know. You got your head on your pillow. She's such a mood. Go and pick all your stuff up outside and put it in the bin. No? Didn't think so. I am going to go. I didn't even mean to film this long. You know what? I don't think anyone's going to watch this all the way through. I wouldn't. I literally wouldn't. I'd probably watch 5 minutes, then I'd probably skip ahead a little bit, watch a bit more. Obviously, if I skipped ahead and found it was interesting, I'd probably watch it. But I definitely would not watch 45 minutes worth of me well, you can't even see me, I am here. It's her washing day today as well. Not even brushed it or anything yet. I mean, I am going to brush it. I am going to get dressed and everything. Do you know what? If I didn't have her, I'd probably not leave the house at all, which certain people on the street want me to not leave the house and they've gone out the way to stop me. But I wouldn't. I literally wouldn't, because of how down I feel. And I used to go out every single day, but because of how I've been made to feel by people on the street and the police, I probably wouldn't even go out. I'd probably go out and do the food shopping and that'd be it. And that's how I've been made to feel when, as you know, if you follow me for a long time and if you follow me on like my private social medias, you'll know that I used to go out every single day, sometimes more than once. I'd just pop out when I needed something, whereas now I can't. But because of how I feel, I probably wouldn't go out for days at a time. I probably wouldn't get dressed. I probably wouldn't brush my hair. Because I don't know if you remember when I used to be really, really depressed and I wouldn't brush my hair for days and it'd get really badly tangled and it'd be a nightmare to sort. And then I made that, not decision, but I basically said to myself that even if you're not going to get dressed that day, you have to brush your hair once a day. Because it was just, you know, I wouldn't brush it for days at a time. And like sometimes it'd be in the same plait for days. And being in a plait didn't mean it wouldn't get tangled, because it would still get tangled to some extent. So I've always been, even at that point, you've got to brush your hair every day. Like at the start of this harassment, I weren't brushing my hair. I wasn't doing anything because I was just so down and suicidal. I just didn't want to, and I didn't feel up to it, and I didn't have the mental or physical energy. But it was causing me a lot of like issues, washing my hair and having to like detangle it. So I've always promised myself that I would brush my hair daily. Even if I'm just brushing it and putting it in a plait, I need to brush it. Look, she's on her back. She's so cute. She's having a bit of a moment in her bed. And she's like, I'm not doing anything, look, I'm not acting weirdly. You should have seen her. She just realised I'm looking at her. She's looking like a deer caught in the headlights. It's like, what do you mean? I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing weird things in my bed. So yeah, I do. And like, I don't even feel like going and having a wash and anything. But I make myself. As much as I don't want to, I make myself. Sometimes it makes me feel a tiny bit better. But also it makes me feel like, especially brushing my hair, that I'm not going to like have matted hair and I'm not going to have to go through the pain of having to try and sort it out and whatever. So I will at least wash and brush my hair today. And because it is hair washing day, at some point this afternoon, I will go and put hair oil all over my head and all over the length of my hair. And then I'll twist it up and put it in a claw clip for hours. But trust me, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing those things. But I know I'll feel much worse if I don't go and do my skincare, if I don't have a wash, if I don't put on some clean clothes. And I used to like put on just clean pyjamas, but I am forcing myself to put some kind of clothes on, even if it's just clothes that I wouldn't go outside in. Do you know, like you have clothes that you just lounge around in, or clothes that are like a bit worn out and you wouldn't wear them out the house, but you wear them around the house. I do make myself put something on. It might take me longer to get dressed on the days that I don't go out, but I do try and force myself to, because there has been many weekends where I've literally just put pyjamas on and that's it. And she's going back outside after having a stretch. Right? No, I'm not going outside because you've said it. Should I get your brush out? You'd love a good brush, wouldn't you? Anyway, I'm going to go. I hope everyone's okay. I hope you're having a good May so far. I do believe this is going to go up in May. If you got to the end, well done. There's only two type of people that are going to watch this. One, you've got it on in the background whilst you're doing something. Two, you are trying to find out things about me because you're obsessed with me and, you know, you're not a very nice person. Two types of people there. Okay, oh, maybe the police. Hi, police. Enjoying watching me be so suicidal because of you. Who knows? On that note, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Have a great day, have a great month, have a great life if you've never watched any of my videos again, and thank you so much for watching.